Would AJ Lee come out of retirement for this AEW wrestler? And an AEW star has revealed they'd still be in WWE if Triple H was in charge. But first, NXT are set to go head-to-head with AEW. Since the end of the Wednesday Night Wars on April 7th, 2021, NXT and AEW have run on separate nights, with WWE's developmental brand moving to Tuesday nights. Well, for one night in September, the war will be revived, with NXT set to run head-to-head with the AEW All Out pay-per-view. According to a report from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, NXT is set to hold a premium live event on September 4th that will air on Peacock, the same night AEW hold their next pay-per-view in Chicago, Illinois. Whilst this hasn't yet been officially announced, the report would note that the next NXT television special will be named NXT Heatwave, the name of an old ECW pay-per-view, which was confirmed on last night's episode of NXT TV, giving the report about the September event validation. The next yet-to-be-named NXT Premium Live event will be held one night before the WWE Clash in the Castle UK pay-per-view, with it expected to take place in Orlando, Florida, likely at the Performance Center. But do you think the NXT event will affect the AEW All Out pay-per-view buys? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, AEW President Tony Khan has been asked about the new WWE management. During an interview with the 10 Count Wrestling podcast on NBC Sports Boston yesterday, Tony Khan would be asked if Vince McMahon no longer being involved in WWE makes a working relationship with AEW more likely. Khan would note that he is open to working with anyone, as shown by his track record, and he would say, "I'm not sure if that's the case, but I would certainly be open to talking to pretty much any wrestling promotion in the world about how to work together if the circumstances are right. We've worked with, I would say in terms of securing footage or providing talent, probably with at least a dozen companies around the world, including Ring of Honor before I was the owner of Ring of Honor. I think that goodwill helped us in the sale process, that they knew it was something they put a lot of time, effort, and financial backing into was going to have a good home with somebody who was going to take care of it and love Ring of Honor. I think our track record with AEW showed them that, and now both companies are really strong." Tony Khan did recently approve certain AEW wrestlers sending in videos to WWE to celebrate the anniversary of John Cena's WWE career, which did air on Raw, meaning there has been some communication between the two parties. Whilst he didn't necessarily answer if WWE would be more willing to work with AEW, with that being impossible to say from his side of things, it's worth remembering that Nick Khan, the new co-CEO of WWE, would open talks with New Japan Pro Wrestling in the past couple of years, meaning he does see value in cross-promotion. Ultimately, though, these talks would fall through. With that said, whether this would extend to All Elite Wrestling or not remains to be seen. Next up, an AEW wrestler is safe after a bomb threat scare. This week, 17-year-old wrestler Nick Wayne, who has signed a contract to join AEW when he turns 18, would be on a flight from Frankfurt, Germany, back to his hometown of Seattle, Washington. The plane would then be diverted to Iceland after a bomb threat was found written on the bathroom mirror. This would result in Wayne's mother, who was on the flight with him, being interrogated extensively due to her having a makeup item in her possession, an item similar to what was used to write the message on the mirror. She was likely one of many that had to be interrogated, which would of course be standard procedure. With Nick set to compete on the card for Ric Flair's last match next week, Starcast promoter Conrad Thompson would provide an update on Wayne's situation during the media call for the event, and he would say, "I was getting real-time updates yesterday when all the craziness with his travel schedule was going down. We do expect him to be in Nashville. Based on everything I've heard, he is safe and sound, and he is excited about being on the Ric Flair last match card and sharing a locker room with Ric Flair as anybody, so we're looking forward to having Nick." Wayne himself would then take to Twitter to confirm that he has got home safely after the ordeal and wrote, "Made it back to Seattle. I appreciate all of you for everything." Thankfully, nobody was hurt following the threat. Whilst his long-term future lies in All Elite Wrestling, in the short term, he will be competing on the card for Ric Flair's last match on Monday night, with him taking on Jonathan Gresham, Konosuke Takeshita, and Alan Angels, all who have been or are currently involved with AEW. The show will be main evented by Ric Flair himself, teaming with his son-in-law Andrade El Idolo to battle Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Next up, Tony Khan is amused by recent speculation of AEW to WWE jumps. Following the news that Triple H would be taking the reins of WWE Creative, fans have speculated if this means a lot of ex-NXT wrestlers could jump back to the company due to their relationship with the new head of creative through NXT. Today, AEW President Tony Khan would shut down speculation of two of those names, those being Malachi Black and Adam Cole, with him saying, I'm a little amused that changes in the competition, people think it's going to magically change the landscape. Some of these accounts, Twitter can be a fun place to follow, but some of the narratives I've seen every day for the last week are really amusing to me. I've got people signed here for 5 years, and people think that just because the CEO, chairman, head of creative, those people changed in the competition, people I have 5-year contracts with are going to magically switch teams. Good luck with that. Adam Cole is signed until 2027 now. I wouldn't expect to see him going anywhere anytime soon. Malachi Black has almost 5 years left on his deal. I wouldn't expect him going anywhere anytime soon. Just because these guys had some success under a previous administration somewhere else, they're not magically going to be going anywhere. Those are 2 people I like, just as examples of people who have worked under the previous administration. The speculation first started when Wade Keller reported that he had spoke with several AEW stars whose contracts were up this year who were more open to moving to WWE now that Vince is gone. However, it looks like we can rule out Black and Cole due to their contract lengths. It will be interesting to see which talents are the ones with expiring contracts this year and what decision they make as to their future. Next, the home of WrestleMania 40 has been revealed. Today, WWE would reveal the identity of where the landmark WrestleMania 40 will be held, with them heading northeast. WWE would tweet out the news and said, "Breaking news, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia will host WrestleMania 40 on Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th, 2024, as first reported by the Philadelphia Inquirer and Sports Business Journal." WWE.com would then provide more information on the story and wrote, "Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau, PHL Sports, and WWE are proud to announce that Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia will host WWE's pop culture extravaganza WrestleMania 40 on Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th, 2024. WrestleMania is more than a 2-day event, it's a week-long celebration." It was then noted that Raw and SmackDown, as well as the Hall of Fame, will be taking place in Philadelphia that week. But will you be looking to get tickets for the Philadelphia-based WrestleMania 40? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, would AJ Lee come out of retirement for this AEW wrestler? 7 years ago, AJ Lee would retire from wrestling, with many hoping that she could return to the ring one day. It is injuries that have kept the former 3-time WWE Divas champion from coming back, with a return looking unlikely at this point. That said, during a recent appearance at the San Diego Comic-Con, her husband and current AEW World Champion CM Punk would be asked about potential opponents were AJ to step back in the squared circle, with him revealing 2 names that could entice her back, and he would say, "Sometimes she'll be like, tell me when the girls are on. She's a big fan of Jade Cargill. I think women like Jade or Britt Baker, especially if she's ever going to want to wrestle, I think they're the ones that can draw her in based on looks and ability and the work." As to whether the match will actually happen, Punk would respond, "I don't know, it's a decision that she has to make, and if she does it, I support it. If she doesn't, I support it." Since her retirement, AJ has gone on to become a mental health advocate, an actress, a comic book and television writer, as well as the producer for the Women of Wrestling promotion. But if AJ Lee were to step back in the ring, where would you want it to happen and who would you want it to be against? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, an AEW star has revealed they'd still be in WWE if Triple H was in charge. In recent days, WWE has seen a huge restructuring of the company, with Vince McMahon retiring and Stephanie McMahon becoming the full-time chairwoman and co-CEO, with Nick Khan becoming the other co-CEO, whilst Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, takes the reins as head of creative. Since then, reports have emerged that former WWE talent who were released by Vince's regime are more open to a return now that Vince is gone, and now that Triple H, who guided most of them through NXT, is in charge of creative. In a fresh report from Fightful, they would speak with numerous former WWE superstars who share this sentiment. There are said to be several former NXT talents that have been released over recent years that believe if Triple H had been in charge back then, they wouldn't have been let go. With that said, they did speak with someone that said that releases were inevitable, so Triple H being in charge may not have meant they were safe, and this talent was quoted as saying, "At some point someone had to be cut, so I wouldn't be realistic to say that it couldn't be or wouldn't be me, just because the person who got me hired had more power." Fightful then revealed a conversation with 2 former NXT stars, one of which that is now in AEW, with a report noting, One former NXT talent that had options within WWE before signing elsewhere said they felt an incredible sense of loyalty to Triple H, and had he been the person managing their creative future, things could have been much different. That talent and another talent that ended up in AEW said they had no confidence in being creatively satisfied on the WWE main roster. One said, "I'm glad that I went to AEW, but if I was graduating to a Triple H-led SmackDown or Raw, I probably would have re-signed with WWE before my deal was up." One current top free agent would tell Fightful that now Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are in their new positions, this greatly increases the possibility of them heading back to the company. Other free agents would say that they are hopeful their relationship with Triple H will lead to them at least having conversations about a return, although this isn't expected to happen imminently. There was a nearly unanimous feeling amongst those that Fightful spoke to that Triple H is better suited for the role than Vince McMahon, something I think most wrestling fans would agree with. The news has no doubt changed the dynamic of the wrestling business entirely, making it more unpredictable than ever, and not just in WWE. And before you go, make sure you check out every All In wrestler that didn't sign for AEW.